just a cotton picking minute. Hang on. I just want to watch up to the point when he opens the locker. Because yes, those are like fingerprint readers. They look like gloved hands. You jest. I don't know, I'm taking it deadly seriously now. Maybe they did. Can't tell whether he's got gloves on his hands or not. Can't really tell whether he's got gloves on his hands or not. Would have been interesting, because it's like, huh, if he opened it with gloves, how does that even work with a fingerprint scanner? Was it even locked? What is this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. Maybe it wasn't closed properly. That's true, yeah. Look carefully what happens when he opens the locker. I do notice the glove falling out, if that's what you're talking about. There is that there. Extremely thin rubber glove. This fell out. And it was then just left at the scene. So, I don't think there was anything about this other than the evidence tag for this SL9 incident, which everything seems to revolve around. The chief prosecutor and Edgeworth. This was Edgeworth's first case, and this is where he got labelled with the whole fabricating evidence rules. Wasabi, thank you for the 100 cheer. Gotta sneak off for a nap. No problem, dude. I know you stream some weird hours for where you are in the world, so you go get yourself some rest. You'll be on lurk. No problem as well. Thank you for that lurk. Everybody go follow Wasabi Tonic again. He is fun. You'll really like his streams. He's got some very fun channel point stuff that you'll just love it. So these lockers ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. Somewhere very weird, probably. But everything begins with contradictions. That's where we have to start. Oh, I will. I'll absolutely enjoy them. So his face can't be clearly seen in the video. Yeah, why is the camera positioned like that? That's weird. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? The face of the man who attacked you with the knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe it would be classified as the latter. So you didn't even see him. The latter, but you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. Well, your badge is kind of already on the line, dude. There's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, but he told us before. He didn't know who he is. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label blah blah blah. Yes, seen is not seen. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Shut up. Rickens. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please, be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claimed the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. Because of the fingerprint. He opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do it. About these lockers, is there any other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. Why? That's suspicious. They only respond to the registered fingerprint, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he tried. Yelling at it, greasing it down with butter, stuff like that. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to the registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. How do you know that information? I heard rumours, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir, they keep me informed. They know about what evidence locker belongs to who. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. By people in the cafeteria, you mean your bartenders? For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail not shown in this video is the man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir, please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why all the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust a knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to that, sir. Yes, you have a point. The video footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Yeah, the cross-examination music's good. Is there a problem with the video? Yes. Regarding the video contained in this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out, wouldn't he? Deepus! Hello. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I'll now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a cop? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man may not be Detective Goodman? Alright. So if we see it, look. There's no cloth. That there. Fine. That was obviously broken then. You know what we do see though? Hang on. In our evidence here... Oh right, okay, it doesn't say anything about whether it was broken or not. Can't tell at all whether he's got gloves on, so that doesn't matter. Drops the glove out of the thing. It does kind of fall out from where the locking mechanism is, look. It seems to be way over to the left. Right? So yeah, it may not have actually been opened. Sorry, it might not have actually been closed properly. The glove might have gotten wedged in the lock. But I think the contradiction is actually the cloth. That locker hadn't been open, and then it was. And if someone else had come in here to open it during the middle of this kerfuffle, they would have intervened, wouldn't they? Not just come in, help themselves to some evidence and leave again, like, oh, there's fighting going on here, never mind. It does show that someone else was in here. So it's going to be this. The thing that's strange about this videotape has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh, yeah. Phew. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. No, you're already under arrest. Shut up. Okay, I guess it's not that. What do we do now? Play the video again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Play the tape again. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction. So it wasn't that. They don't find this strange. I mean, okay, it doesn't point to the fact that this isn't Goodman. Alright. Back to the tape. So annoying that that thing there gets in the way of the face. Waiting for the light bulb moment, yeah. It'll come, don't worry guys, I don't need help yet. I mean, we know that can't possibly be what's his name's knife, right? So he gets slashed first in the hand, and when he grabs him, he gets blood on his shoulder. But I don't know if that's going to be it. I think he approves or disproves it. So we know it's nothing at all to do with that. There's nothing here that stands out to me as odd. It's pretty much the same kind of clothes he's wearing. The glove can't be it. Ooh, hang on. Oh. Oh, boy. What's this? Only assigned detectives' prints can unlock it. Indicator lamps light up when it's open. It was already open. Yeah, we can't see his face at all. He's covered up by this damned blue badger thing. Oh, I see now. You guys were trying to give me clever word hints with light it up and... yeah, waiting for the light bulb moment. Clever. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? Is there another Officer Meekins here? Oh god, please do go away with that music now. I don't want to hear this in my sleep. As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, bing, it opens. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Yes, because what they're saying proves that this was Goodman is the fact that he opened the locker. That's the thing we had to tackle head on. That's what I started thinking about when I was looking. I'm like, so it's got to be something to do with how he opens the locker door. You have to suffer the badger music here. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker door, let's rewind to a little earlier. It's midnight at your place and you have this music playing. Oh, you poor man. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Probably because the glove was blocking it. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Because as soon as I realised that, that's why I had my, oh, hang on a minute. If it was already open, then it wouldn't have locked. Therefore the light would be on. Ah! Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? Very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, sensors trigger. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down, of course. I'm not an expert on this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report a malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. Yeah, shut up, Judge. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Ah! Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system detectors? Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. It is, it's the glove. The glove blocked it. That was my thought, 'cause if you remember earlier on I said the glove drops out from where the actual locking mechanism would be. It drops out from way over to the left of the door. So it might have been pressed in there and stopped the door from closing properly. And that's when I remembered the light being like, okay, so that would actually mean that it never locked, so the light would still be on. Interesting. Let's inspect the video one more time. Hi Luigi, how's it going? Yes, Edgeworth survived and we have to battle him now in court again. Okay, so you're here just in time for this horrifying thing as well. It is not Five Nights at Freddy's. There it is. The glove dropped out. Bing! Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Oh, merciful, the music has been muted. Oh, I can still hear it though. Oh. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But, sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll... What the hell? Shut up. We can't be sure that what the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensors and the door? Inserted? You're at recess time now? Awesome. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. Just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. It should try harder. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator, like a rubber glove, a thin surgical glove. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, my insulator, you don't mean... I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that stuck in the door? That would be the glove. Here it is. Take that! I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that's what was in the victim's locker. We literally see a fucking glove. It's glove-shaped. It's... It has a tag that says SL9 incident, that as well. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But isn't that the... but that isn't the case. The lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is it not so, Officer Meekins? Sir? It would appear so, sir. Order! 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 So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Nanny? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir. They're going to talk about the access card log. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. Oh. Another mystery man. There's one other thing that proves that the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Oh yeah. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. ID card record, I see. I have these ID card records right here, Your Honor. Yeah, this is the same one we have. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using the room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Involving police staff. What they're saying is the only evidence in there is any evidence revolving around murders in which a police officer was involved? Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal here and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. One other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? You're not just spitballing here? Yes, sir. Solid as a stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Yeah, he could. Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. That's why we question everything. Is that the card hanging from your neck, one of these ID cards? Yeah, we've already done that though. Right next to his cuffs. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Yes. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car? Is the other 1 out of 3 times the ID card lanyard? Well, the remaining time it's the ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing on my ID card, blah blah blah. Okay, maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only 1 ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. They do say they get lost easily though. Do they reissue the number when it gets lost? Maybe not. Please proceed with your testimony. When an ID card is used, there is a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness refers to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here as well. So it is, Your Honour. Yes, we already determined he was probably in there getting evidence for the transferal. Maybe behind all this. Tell me, is the man in blue a murderer? What? Shh, don't stare at him. Don't look at him. Got the wrong colour, kid. Blue and purple. Maybe your child is colourblind. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. Going to have supper? Yummy. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. At the time of the crime. Earlier, I believe you testified when you asked the man to show his ID card. He pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir, he didn't show me the ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions, let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card test to me is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. I mean, the time of the crime, we cannot refute the fact that the person they pulled out of the trunk of the car was Detective Goodman. Hell, that's even one of his shoes. And that car was parked back up at 12 minutes past 5 PM in an office half an hour across the city away from here. So 2 minutes before he was murdered, supposedly in the evidence room, he was already dead in the trunk of that car, by all accounts, because he probably arrived there. Question is that what we need to point out? We just need to know which particular piece of evidence we have to point out. And I still find this very interesting. He started writing out a lost item report earlier in the day, probably. And his ID started as 59, which he then scribbled the 9 out. That is 58. I don't know what's relevant about that yet. I don't think that's anything to do with this, but that's going to be relevant later, probably. If that works. Doesn't work. That's just the floor plan. See, he would only been doing that if his number had recently changed, because he'd been reissued an ID card because the cops lose them at times. And he's still getting used to his new number. That is relevant now. That was definitely found at the scene of the crime. We picked that up off the ground. Who's all the sevens? We think that might be the Chief of Police. Chief Gant. Possibly.